Hello there. It's an amazing day, and I am glad that you have chosen to join us today. This is your host, Nashami Wangara, and this is the Dear Parent Show. Now, I am excited today, and of course, I'll be excited every day we are doing this because these shows are just something. They do something to me, and I pray they do something to you too. Now, Dear Parent Show, if you remember, we mentioned that we will be hosting different people. Different in terms of we'll be hosting parents, we'll be hosting young people, we'll be hosting professionals. I mean, let me not put everything out there so that you come and watch some more. But we have so many things and so many different people just coming on board, and we can have these conversations concerning parenting. And I am honored this day to have an amazing, amazing young person join us on set. And trust you me, it's going to be great. I am glad you're here. So do me a favor, don't go anywhere. And if you know that this will be a blessing to you and it will impact you, usikwe mean, you can always share this with another and another so that we just help make this amazing journey more meaningful. Sawa sawa. All right, now today I am joined by an amazing young girl. I will have her introduce herself, but I'll just tell you her name is Esther. That is what I'll do for now. But I'll pass the baton to Esther to just tell us about herself. Karibu Es.
Hi everyone, my name is Esther, as she has mentioned. But wengine wanajua kama Queen, wengine ni Maris, but I'm Esther. Yeah, for business. Yeah, I thank God for the gift of life. I'm 20 years of age. I'm a Gen Z.
Yes, Gen Z.
Yes, and I'm so honored to be here. I feel so excited, ready to talk about whatever is you've prepared. Yeah, stick there. Venye mtu amesema, stick here.
Kabisa.
Yes.
So you had to remind us you're 20.
Yes.
And then when you get to 30, please remind us. Because when girls grow up, they start refusing to tell people their ages.
Yes, no problem.
Or as someone else told me, we only tell of decades. So 20, then 30, then 40. Hiyo ya katikati, cheza chini. So how have you been, Esther?
I've been good. Just as I said, I thank God. The year 2024, haijakuwa hivyo rahisi.
Tell me about it.
Okay, I lost my grandmother in 2024. But I thank God for strength regardless. Unajua God anatokeanga tu. Yeah, so all credit to him. I thank him because my studies in flow 2024. Regardless of the maandamano. Lazima ningemesha. Yeah, so thank you for asking. Yes.
And so when we are coming to 2025, what are you looking forward to?
Okay, for 2025, I'm expecting a lot of positivity around the regarding the people around me. Juu venye nimewaset na zile goals niko nazo, I really expect them to be my encouragers kama kuna kitu kama hiyo. So yeah, I look forward to having an amazing year, especially because nimeanza nikiwa kwa show kama hii. You know, good vibes.
Good vibes, yes. Positivity all the way.
Kabisa.
Negative energy,
Uko nyuma. Yes.
It's amazing. You know, the other day I was talking to somebody and we were talking about goals. And we agreed that we are very good at writing our goals down, or rather having them goals. And then ikifika around mid of the year, we are like, resolution, cheza chini, hizo tuliachanga na huko. So I pray that your positivity will result into you fulfilling all that.
Amen.
Sindio?
Yes.
And then Gen Z. You had to say Gen Z so that I remind myself I'm millennial.
Yes.
And there's Gen Alpha. And do you know 2025, we are beginning a new generation. Kids being born this year, generation beta. Kunaenda kukienda. So when Gen Beta will be your age. Anyway, next story.
Yes.
You'll be there. But I'm a proud millennial. And I'm glad that I'm having a Gen Z on set.
Obvious.
It's yeah, right?
Yeah.
Now, Esther, tell me about your family generally. Like, how many are you? And what is the one thing you loved about growing up?
Okay, so for me, First of all, I'm the only child in our family. So hapo tuanza kujijazia. I had an amazing time growing up because hakuna competition ati mama amesema kubai juu mimi ndo nabaiwa, you see. So ni me too, everything, you know, dad nataka hii, mom nataka hii. Yeah, so I grew up in umoja. Bado tunaishi tu umoja. And I thank God for my parents. I have both my parents alive. That is something to be grateful for because 2024 niliona watu walikuona. But I thank God my parents are alive. And you know them, they are Christian. My dad is a pastor. So sinaelewa kichapo ya Yesu hapo.
Pastor's kid. Yay!
Yes. So I grew up in a Christian background. They provided everything for me since I'm the only child. Hakuna ati tegea kwanza wengine tuwasort. Yeah, sinaelewa. Yeah, I know you can already
kinda, because man, I'm coming from a family of that 10. Hallelujah.
Yeah, so I thank God everything was okay. From primary to high school to college, everything was swift because I think they did their best to. Yeah, that's all about my family.
Amazing, amazing. Yes. You are blessed. No wonder you're called
Amen.
Queen. No wonder, no wonder. No, but that's really a beautiful thing. Number two thing I would want to ask you, growing up, you are a 20-year-old. The other day you are 19. You just transited from teenagehood.
Yes.
How's been your teenagehood?
Okay. So for my teenagehood, all I can say, peer pressure. You see the word peer pressure? We got to know about peer pressure, but kwa ground, the pressure is peer.
The pressure is pressuring.
Yes. So I think for my teenagehood, I had a battle with one thing. And that one thing is, you see, simekwambia my background is a Christian background.
Yes.
Na huku kwa world, teenager daitambui wewe uko kwa God ama nini. So at home I have to behave in a certain way because you see mtoto wa pastor. But huko nje, you see the pressure is like watu wanafanya hivi na hivi. So I think the most difficult thing was like identity yangu, niko wapi na identify na nini na nani. So I think that was the most difficult thing. Yes.
I love the way we are talking about it past tense and it was just last year.
I know.
But it's really amazing just to understand the dynamics of you have a setup at home and then there's a setup outside there.
Exactly.
And you have to find the balance. But well done so far. Well done. Now, today, I want you and I to discuss a letter.
Yes.
And viewers, this is going to be our guide for this show. It's called the Dear Parent book. And this is just a collection of letters from young people writing their hearts. Actually, the book down here says, Dear Parent, here is my unspoken. Meaning there's stuff that they wish they tell their parents, but kidogo, they feel, So we are here to just put everything out there and just have the conversations around it. So Esther and I are doing a letter here. Are you ready for this?
Very ready.
Let's see. We will read it as we discuss.
Yeah.
So this young person says, Dear parents, I hope this finds you well. This is something that has tormented me for the last couple of years. I have, however, found the courage to tell you about it. That's a win already, right? When you started having problems at home, our once perfect family became a battlefield. Having to watch you argue and fight almost each day has tormented me so much. For a long time, I missed peace of mind and heart. And at a tender age of 10, I developed ulcers because I was so stressed up. And of course, no one would believe that a 10-year-old can be stressed. Right, Esther? Tell me about young people. And you know, let me tell you now, from a parent's perspective, we look at young people and we are like, wewe ni mtoto. You know, like we try to imagine there are some things you don't really have to go through. Why are you telling me stress? Why are you telling me? Now, picture this child who's coming. Picture your state. A good home, peace is then everything. Then one day things are falling apart. Why? Because the family is falling apart. You're seeing your parents fight every day. How does a young person have to handle that?
Okay, let me tell you something.
Tell me.
You see, where when you grow, ama the environment around you.
Yeah.
I think it matters a lot. Whether the parents are peaceful, whether the parents wanabishana, it will always have an impact. Iko uko na miaka ngapi, it will always have an impact. So according to whatever the person is saying, I think it's ruined her peace or their peace. Let me just say their peace, because maybe they had an issue, yeah. Anataka kwenda kuambia mom, you see, but mom ndo hiyo ashakosana na mzai huko. So yeye anakuwa stressed over her own issue ama his own issue, na bado anakuwa stressed na issue ya wazazi, you see. So I guess according to whatever you've asked me, impact ya environment yako na venye mtu anakuwa raised na hizo kelele zote ama peace yote, I think ina matter a lot. So
tukivutana kwa boma tunawabase mbaya.
Acha nikwambie, iko mtu ako na miaka ngapi, lazima hata ukijaribu kuhepa hiyo situation, it will always
kidogo ita affect.
Yes.
The environment is everything.
Yes.
So this young person says, my academics too took a spiral drop and my grades went lower and lower each time. But at that point, I did not even care. I started avoiding school time and again. Yes, when you thought I had left home for school, I would go into the open field near home and spend my entire day there. I lost interest in everything from school, friends, food, and my social life. I just became withdrawn. Now, in line with that, you know, it is one thing to deal with this and you are in a boarding school. It's another thing to deal with this and you are in a day school. That means every day you're coming home. And I expect you to perform. I expect you to be alive. If you're an extrovert, mbona siku hizi uniongeleshi. And then you're here and you're withdrawn. I just want to ask a question, because this one has mentioned about the social life just being withdrawn.
Yes.
Tell me how it happens in your circles with young people, the conversations that maybe come around you concerning parents, things that maybe might trigger or anything. Tell me anything or a case study.
Now, Nasha, me picture this.
Yes.
I mean, maybe class 6, right? I'm saying grade 6, sorry.
Yes.
So I'm in grade 6, so we are having our fun day, we are just in the class waiting to go play outside. And then we are just having a random conversation, friends, you know. So we are approaching the holidays, and some of my friends say, you know, my mommy and daddy have planned for us to go to Mombasa. You see? Ukumbuke mimi niko hapo kando, wazazi wangu walipigana, you see? The other person says, you know, Mimi, my parents said I'll go visit my mom's side, and my dad was not okay with it, but I'll just go. And then they're expecting me to talk, but all I can remember, all my mind is ringing is, was I home?
Uko nyumbani.
So I think, you see, my circle, iko mixed up. Kuna wenye wao kwao wako sawa.
Things are working.
Na kuna wenye wao kwao, okay, vitu haziko, but yeye aoni like kama ni issue. Maybe wako wengi, but picture mimi, mwenye niko ndani ya circle ya hao watu wote, and then all I remember is, hadi si mimi sikusikia kama wamepanga anything for the holiday. Remember, this is a person mwenye maybe kwa kitambo wazazi walikuwa peaceful nini, so alikuwa anaongea, but now people are wondering mbona leo usemi amwendi holiday tena. You see, akona hiyo pressure. So circle. So social life inaweza kuwa affected because of how we are treating you at home. Yes.
Okay. Sorry. All right. It pains me to say that at the tender age of 12, I had my first attempt to end my life. On my way from school, I saw an approaching pickup and thought this will be perfect for me to end my pain and suffering. So I rushed to the road to be hit. Luckily or unluckily, my friend who was behind me pushed me away from the road and I fell on the roadside. 2 weeks later, alone in the house, I thought I could end my life again because the previous night, the two of you had shouted at each other all night. And it just got to me so bad. So I locked myself in the bathroom, said a short prayer to God. Just as I was about to stab myself, someone knocked the door. That was how my second attempt to die was aborted, and I was so disappointed. I would have done anything just to end my life because I was tired of living, especially in the same house with you. Sure. As fate would be, the two of you parted ways. Let me just pause there. both of you parted ways. Esther, I have been around young people,
Yes.
and they tell me now, like such a situation, their parents are always fighting, things are not working and everything. And then they will be like, si waachane tu. Si tumechoka. You know, it's just too much. It's getting to us. I mean, they're always fighting and fighting. And the parent on the other side is like, I am in this just because of the children. And the same children are like, see, they just part ways. How do you talk to, in such a situation, how would you talk to a student, or rather a young person, familia yao iko hivyo, iko in a mess, and anasikia kama amechoka ukweli. Mtoto kama utamuongeleshaje? Just to that camera and just talk to a young person who is in such a setup. Things are falling apart, like this one that even decides that I wish nikufe. Let me just die and get out of your way. Talk to such a young person.
Okay, so one thing I think all of us should learn, ama kila mtu tu ajue, issues will always be there.
Oh wow.
So you have to start from a point of accepting that hakuna kitu ita flow easy, ati familia tu ina flow like nika tuko Jerusalem or something. Nothing will just but then you'll have to find tactics on how to approach a situation when it's there with you, because suicide is not everything. By the way utaondokea dunia, lakini God akikuja na utakuwa hapo na mashtaka za kujibu, you see. But I think we have to start from a point of accepting there's always gonna be issues in our families. The second thing, how am I supposed to approach, because remember your parents ni watu tu kama wewe, ni venye wewe hauko kwa marriage, so
nice one.
Unajua like they're just maybe pia wao wanajaribu tu kugrow. It's just that they're your parents, so unaona kama ni pia wao walikuwa tu wadogo, maybe they saw it, waliona wazazi wao wakibishana, so they are bringing it back to their mimi mamangu hakuwa anaambia mza, pia wewe utaniambia, naambia baba ya huyo hivyo. So you should accept that hakutawahi kuwa kitu ina flow to. Ya pili, learn how to approach such a situation. Learn how to. And then here ni hivyo tu. Hadi sijui but
man una speak. So hii barua yake ni mrefu, but let me see what else. Let me just speak another aspect of it. So she talks about the parents finally separated, and she was raised by a single mother. It was hard having been raised from a wealthy home with all the riches, and in a single day that ended, and here we were in a single mabati structure that could only fit a bed. I will admit that was really traumatizing, but at least there were no fights and shouting. I endured this because to me peace was sacred, more than any possessions, peace that I had not known for the longest time. Esther, a flip of a lifestyle. Not even this case only. This is a situation where, of course, I guess it's the dad who had the money. And then now mom had to move out, but she didn't have the money. But picture of even just a perfect home, no fights, no nothing, and things are going on so well, and then one day life just happens. Like, pesa inaisha. Even just the other day during COVID, we had those incidences where a family was doing so well, and then shoop, everything goes down the ride. And you that used to, for example, if you're in high school, you're showing up with so much shopping, say, unatokea tu na books zako na uniform, like just a flip. How is a young person supposed to adjust to that? How would you adjust to that?
Well, first of all, that's not easy. Because tusiende mbali kwa the lifestyle changing nini. The decision of naenda na dad ama nabaki na mama. Kumbuka hiyo, you see, naenda na dad ama nabaki na mom. So mtu sasa nikienda na dad, mama ataona simpendi, nikibaki na mom, dad ataenda anze family nyingine nini. So I guess that hiyo ni kitu inasumbua, because inabidi ubaki na ule. Yes, dad ndo hapa alikuwa na riches obviously tu venye amesema, mom venye walibaki pamoja kulienda everything drained, you see. So I think Ali make a very tough decision. She protected her peace, ama he protected his peace. Ndio, regardless of nani ako na pesa ama nini. So I think the lifestyle changing, it's a very hectic thing. Because kumbuka sahi maybe nikitoka huko nje watu wanaona leo uko na ngapi, twende utushikie nini, then the next day manze itabidi nyinyi ndio mmenishikia jao
unless tufulize.
Yeah, so I think the lifestyle changing huwa it really drains someone.
Drains,
especially in high school, because maybe ulikuwa umezoea wewe ndo unakujanga na mabox za pencil hapo unagawia watu, the next time ni wewe unaomba pencil, like the change of emotions, the change of everything is just so draining. But remember, the person is choosing this because of their peace.
Imagine.
Amesema mnione ni kama sina vitu, but mimi niko kwenye niko kwa peace. Unaona? Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. And then there's something you've mentioned about that now when a child is torn in between.
Yes.
Do I go with dad? Do I go with mom? And sometimes we don't give you chance to choose. We decide for you. Enda na mom. Ama enda na dad. And some have been left in a place of picky ponki unapata hadi they are being raised maybe by someone else different. So it really takes a toll on you guys.
Yes. Very much.
Yeah, sorry, we are learning. I promise we are learning. But anyway, this girl is really going through so much, or rather she was really dealing with so much. But of course, you have said about the whole place of going back to school, because according to her, you know, coming from a place of I have it all to I have none, she says that she would go back to school with barely nothing.
Yes.
And sometimes roommates laughed at her because her shopping consisted of cheap stuff. And it really affected her. She really wished to transfer schools, but she knew where the mom was coming from. So ikabidi acheze chini, because now mom can't do this. But anyway, she says, time went by and I started making new friends because Norman is an island. There was this particular one that was more of a brother, and he was there for me, advising me, helping me with my studies, and a shoulder to lean on. If I had known his intentions, I would never have allowed him in my space. I remember this day when he came back from work and came to check on me. And little did I know he wanted to take advantage of me. He almost raped me that day, but I was lucky to see a jug with hot water, which I poured to him, self-defense, and ran away. I never got to see him again and dreaded men like a plague. I wish I could have told you this, but I was sure you won't believe me since this is someone you really trusted. We trust people, we parents, we trust people with you. We entrust people in your space. Maybe people that are in the neighborhood, maybe people that are helping in different ways, and we trust them. So we end up trusting them more than we can trust you.
Yes.
And when you come and start telling, for example, I have paid for you to go for a certain tuition, or you're in college and there's these skills you're learning, and there's this person I know that can help you. And I'm like, Esther, every weekend you're going to that place. And you know that that place is harming you. But I don't want to listen to you. Not you don't want to listen. You can't even tell me because you're sure I will not believe in you.
Obviously.
Ever heard of such a situation? Anyone, of anything that someone was in a state where mambo yalikuwa anaenda kuharibika na aliogopa kuambia mzae ama madhi?
Obviously. Hiyo ni kitu iko so common na sisi. And I think the headline of that is, who am I running to?
Yes.
You see? Who am I running to? Na apart from me, who is my mom running to for me? Mi nakimbililia nani manze niko na hii shida, lakini madhe anaendea nani mtoto wangu ako na hii shida, you see? So mom ndo alimake decision, like wewe enda kupeleka huku nini jumi siezani na wewe at this point. But then huyo kwenye umepelekwa
bala.
So you see, the approach to this ni ndaambia mom mwenyewe anatrust mse, ndaanzaje kumconvince ati kuko hivi na hivi. Tena nikimwambia antoe huko maisha itaendaje, you see? So I guess it's a whole new thing of having now to be mature. Sasa hapo ndio tena kukua mature,
inabidi kuwe mature at an early age. Exactly.
Inabidi akili yako imefikiria kama nitumie tu example sana kuwa wewe
lakini ni wewe
na kuwa wewe at mimi stage, you see? So I think venye anasema hapo ati sasa ningeanzaje kuambia mom na na mconvince aje, you see? So it's really hectic having to find someone else to maybe afikie mom on your behalf. Ni kama sasa kwa hiyo kitabu si anafikia mamake through the book.
Through the book, yes.
Yeah. Mama ajui huu ni mtoto wake nini but anasikia. So
we si sorini. Hii apology nitamake paka Yesu arudi. But anyway, final paragraph, she says, there I was again. I went back to my cocoon. Remember, she had said she started making friends, but it turned south. So I went back to my cocoon and kept off everyone again. So, see, mom, it is not that I am not social. I try reaching out. I try making friends, but I end up disappointed. Sometimes I think you and dad should not have parted ways. If only you sat down and soberly talked your issues out, your marriage would not have ended. Maybe I would not have had to go through all this and much more if you had patched things up. I wish I could go back in time and bring back the once happy family. But sadly, this is a dream that I can only do that I can't do a thing about. I have really wanted to tell you this and much more, and I hope one day in the future I can freely talk to you about this, because your daughter has had a heavy heart for the longest time. We imagine, we perceive that you people, irrespective, and I'm glad you mentioned that thing about being young, but we cause you to mature.
Yes.
Or rather, actually it is us that cause you to mature. It's not even things,
Yes,
it is us, because we need to be there. But now, sometimes a parent looks at a child. For example, you are this bubbly girl, and then from the blues, you're not talking to me. And you're not talking to anyone. Or you are this person that was all over, wanting to do everything. And then from the blues, you don't want. Or you are this very obedient girl. And then from the blues, you're very rebellious. Does that mean that deep within, it's like a cry? It's like, I want attention. I want you to notice me so that I can talk. Is it that a young person and young people out here, deep within, have a cry to want to be heard?
Acha nikushtue kidogo.
Nishtue mama, nishtuke.
Unaona venye unasema, ati I want nini. Mind you, me behaving this, I already know in my mind, unajua ni kwa sababu ya issue yenu ndio niko hivi.
Oops.
They just you. They just you, yeah?
Yes.
Unajua ni kama sasa, if you are dating, lazima nitumie example.
Kabisa, muhimu.
If you are dating and they start behaving in some weird way, na maybe kulikuwa na ka issue tulikuwa nayo usiku tunagombana, obviously utasema, I mean, ama nijuu tulikuwa na hiyo misunderstanding. So me behaving this way, I don't really want you to come and say, Abu, by the mbona umeacha kukua hivi na ulikuanga hivi. I know you know by the mom, see, mi najua yo. I know you know. I just want you to come and comfort me, like vitu zitaenda sawa. Sitaki ukuje in a manner of what's wrong. Just come in a manner, I know. You see, you are my parent, you know me, like unajua nini inaweza nifanya na nini inaweza nifanya.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, si sorry.
Hiyo ni fact. Yes.
Anyway, now, as we begin to wind up, I just want to ask you two things, to do two things. Number one, it's a question. If there is anything in your life as a daughter to your parents that you would wish, I know you are alone, umekuwa pampered, umefanya everything, but given chance, if God gave chance, let me use him, that something was to be done better in their parenting you, anything, what would that be? One thing be?
Okay, let me think about it.
Either inafanywa ama haifanywi. Ama kuna kitu ungetaka wafanye some more. Maybe they are doing it. You're like, I wish muongeze hii, katempo ka hii. Ama I wish this was also added. Hii inge spice up things. This would have made it much, much more fun. Anything.
Okay. So for me, what I would have wished... Okay.
I never know, wishes can come true.
Yes.
Yes.
So, sometimes wanakana sema, I wish I had siblings. You see?
Yeah.
Juu sometimes inakuanga ngumu kuendea either my dad ama my mom. Juu napata, hii issue niko nayo wanze. So if I had a sister, maybe picture this, maybe ndio nimeanza period zangu. My mom is not around and my dad is there. Unajua ile kashemia, dad manze hadi
ni conversation kidogo.
But if I had a sister, you see, but picture this pia ni marriage yao. Kama hawataki watoto wengine. Unaona? But
ni yao kuamua. Well, this far tunaona waliamua.
But unaona, I wished I had siblings, but uwezi jua pia ilikuwa mpango ya God. But if they were to change that, mimi kukua mtoto peke yangu, I wish manze mom.
It's not too late, dad, mom.
But I thank God for like everything. Iko tu sawa.
Kuna mtu alisema, most people that now like your case, that have been raised alone, some of them when they get married, they want to have more children. Unajisema yes ya haraka. Yes.
Najaribu kusema pia niko hapo. Mimi huyo. Yes.
Anyway, that's good. Anyway, it's a good wish and it's an honest one. Final thoughts. I want you to look at that camera and talk to a parent. And just in 2 minutes, just anything you want to talk to a parent, parenting in this generation. Any thoughts you have for them?
Okay.
You can start with dear parent. At a smile.
Dear book. So dear parents, my parents being one of them. Najua watasikiza. Lazima wanione nikishine.
Lazima.
So for the parents, I want you to understand that, okay, I don't want it to seem so personal, but I know kuna watu wanafikiria tu kama mimi, you see. We know that pia nyinyi mko na issues zenu, of which hizo issues zinaweza changia kwa sisi maybe kukua either positive ama negative about life. But I really wish for parents mkwe mnaweza kuwa so intimate na watoto wenu in such a way. Obviously utakuja kama wewe ni mamangu sasa, for instance, utakuja uniambie babako ananiboa hadi utakuja Yesu niambie hivyo, but in some way I think from us talking, juwe ni mzazi wangu, najua I'm your fruit, you see, I'm your God given gift. Like I wish we would have I wish the more tunaandika hizi vitabu, the more vitu tu tunasema hapa ndio bado vitu tunaongelea.
Wow.
I mean, parents, sitaki niseme ni kama mimi ni parents but I think the child to parent ama parent child relationship ina matter. So wanafaa wazingatie hivyo. Time ya holidays ama time, any free time you find with your family, make sure kuna hiyo intimacy. Nisikuwe na kuogopa wewe kama mzazi wangu. And mimi, okay, I don't want to outshine, but I thank my parents because kuna issues zinaweza waendea, but unapata wengine hawezi endea parents au sindio. So parents, msieke environment ya manze sitaki kuendea mom juu ya whatever and whatever. Yeah.
Amazing. I am sure a parent has had something, sips water.
Yes. Sips water.
It's water, it's not water. Okay, fine. But I'm sure there's a parent who has just picked something from what you, because ume speak hatia another young person. And I'm sure some young person will watch it like, kwanza your part. Sisitiza your part. But thank you so much. I know it has benefited a parent out here. And thank you for just being candid and helping me navigate through this letter and being a real Gen Z with no apology. It's really been amazing, and thank you. I really appreciate that you took time to just join me on set and navigate through parenting. And years to come when you will be, because you will be a parent to a gen beta. When you'll be parenting, this book will still be here. But I pray that in your times, we will not need to write this because those conversations will be happening. That's what we're trying to do, to demystify all this, to break all these barriers and have these relationships working. So thank you for finding time to be with me. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. It feels so good to be here. And also to have a conversation with you. Unajua unakuanga top notch. Lazima niseme mbele ya kamera. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you for hii kitabu, as much as inasaidia parents, pia mimi na learn, unajua venye watu na approach their situation. So thank you so much. I love you.
You're most welcome. Hapo sana. I love you too. It's a Gen Z thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. This was an amazing show, and Esther was amazing. I'm sure you also enjoyed just having her share her thoughts, and we are glad that you joined us. The journey continues. Parenting is a daily thing. Walisema haikuji na manual, but tumekuja na manual. There is a manual this time round. And thank you so much for finding time to be with us. Until next week when we get to do this again. Thank you. Keep watching, keep learning, keep sharing the lessons, and with time we'll be able to just compare notes and say, yo, parenting is getting better, courtesy of Dear Parent Show. So from us, asante sana. We will see you again next time. God bless and keep well. Shalom.